king, I am not a god, I am Hump
What's poppin' Tano? Are you ready for a very powerful build for the Tenet Tetra to take down the toughest enemies in Warframe? I'm talking about level 9999 steel path enemies, but seeing is believing. Let me show you how powerful this weapon is and the performance at level cap. Let's go. Yeah boy, that's the damage we're talking about. Don't forget to hit the like button to support the video in the algorithm, much appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe and turn the bell on for future videos. As always, before I build my weapons or my warframes, I do what? D.V.S, that's right. D stands for how I'll be dealing damage, what elements I'll be using, what's the faction I'll be fighting, what's the weapon unique trait, or evolution if it's incarnon. V stands for how I proc 10 stacks of viral to make enemies vulnerable by 325% more damage to their HP. S stands for how I strip enemies armor. We don't care about enemies armor. What we care about is the damage reduction comes with armor, and by lowering that, we deal higher damage. And of course, I don't use any riven, so you can save your platinum, because in my builds, I can't expect you to have a similar riven like mine, or I ask you to buy a riven to make this build works. Also, I use a revenant because he's a tank, not my main like a lot of Thanos think, because he doesn't boost the weapon in any way. No Eclipse, no Zeta Whisper, no Vex Fury, no Sarin, no nothing, so you can copy this build in any Warframe you want. Let's go. And now Tano, if you don't like my methods that I will show you on how I proc viral and armor strip enemies, it's okay. You can check this sheet right here. It can help you maneuver around my methods to find your own style. As in Warframes, and that's the beauty of it, you can do things in many different ways, but the results are the same. I'll be running 2 Emerald Archon shards to push the stacks of corrosive from 10 to 14, so our Tenet Tetra itself can armor strip the enemies. How it works? Now, the corrosive stacks are 10. The first stack will armor strip enemies by 26%, and every stack after will strip enemies armor by 6%, capped at 80%. Thanks to the Emerald Archon shards, we can push the stacks from 10 to 14, so we can armor strip enemies by 104%. Of course, you can run a Tau Forged Emerald Archon shard for +3, so 13 stacks of corrosive, but that will cap you at 98% armor strip. I don't like it. I want to make enemies HP red and strip them 100%. Other Archon shards doesn't matter. And there you go for Nourish. I'm going to be using Nourish for proccing viral. So one weapon, stripping and proccing viral thanks to Nourish. Now, for Revenant, and you can apply this in any Warframe you like. Worthy Camaraderie, squad receives 75% weak point critical chance. Arcane Acceleration on critical hit, increase fire rate. Arcane Rage to increase your damage on headshots. Now, Vigorous Swap, I didn't use it. Maybe you will not find a mod slot in your Warframe. It's very hard sometimes to get Vigorous Swap in a Warframe. Arcane Acceleration is the arcane you want to replace with Molt Augmented or Arcane Energize or Arcane Aegis or whatever your Warframe needs. Now, when it comes to the Tenet Tetra unique trait, Alternate Fire launches explosive consuming entire magazine to increase damage dealt. That's really powerful. Primed Bane of Origin is multiplicative damage to faction, and you want to replace it every time you're fighting a different faction. I know it gets like a bit frustrating, and I hope DE create some sort of NPC where we give our faction mods and he give us a universal one. Okay, so we farm our faction mods and we trade them with that NPC for a universal one. Magnetic capacity for magnetic and magazine capacity. Now you would say, why magnetic, Hank? Now magnetic will increase your damage to shield, yes, and also it will increase your damage to overguard. It doesn't say it here, but it does. Now, Suration for damage, Hunter Munition, 30% chance to apply slash on critical, High Voltage for electricity and statue chance, Vital Sense for critical damage, Critical Delay for critical chance, and Primary Equity 350% weak point damage, that's really powerful, and 350% weak point critical chance, and multi-shot cannot be modified. That's why we're not using Chamber for this. But if you want to activate your Sentinel Galvanized Chamber, you can equip it, there is no issue in here. And why we're modding this weapon with Primary Equity? Because it's multiplicative to other sources of critical chance. and that's why I'm modding it for primary equity. Doesn't mean other build sucks, but primary equity is the way I want to go for Tetra for the multiplicative critical chance. Primary rifle ammo mutation for converting ammo, and primary deadhead on precision headshot kill, 360% damage, 30% headshot multiplier, and minus 50% weapon recoil. And now let's talk about Rivens. If your Riven has a multiplicative faction damage, you replace Primed Bane of Orokin. If your Riven has CCCD damage, you replace Serration. If your Riven have CCCD multi-shot, negative zoom, I mean primary equity, you still can use it, but primary equity will block your multi-shot, so I think you should change the build to a multi-shot build. If your Riven has electricity, you replace high voltage. Let me know in the comments below what's your Riven, so I do my best to help you place it on the build. And for my companion build, I'm using Nautilus. Cordon to pull enemies together like a vortex, Duplex for the clones when you use energy, Assault for attacking, Vacuum to pull the loot, Manifold for more Cordon, Calculated Redirection for shield, armor, health, Reinforced Bond to increase your fire rate, and Tenacious Bond to increase your critical damage. The Sentinel weapon, you can use the Prime Laser Rifle, Burst Laser Prime, or you can use the Volclock if your Virglass, which is the best Sentinel weapon in the game, doesn't have a Riven to activate Tenacious Bond. So all you need is the Riven with critical chance, and that's pretty much it. I talked earlier about Galvanized Chamber. If you want to activate the Galvanized Chamber on your Sentinel, you equip it on your Tenet Tetra. Otherwise, you remove Galvanized Chamber and you equip Split Chamber in here, because the Sentinel itself cannot trigger it, and it can benefit from it if it's equipped on your primary weapon. I hope that's clear. Now let's try this against level 225 Heavy Corrupted Gunners. I cannot wait for the new Infested Ditches weapon so we can increase those enemies level. Activating Nourish and landing headshots. And as you can see, we already read crits. Slash is there, and enemies cannot resist this power. 2 million already. Now, if I hit them with the AoE, like you see right here, boom. Look at that. Now, I don't like the AoE because it consumes so much ammo, and I believe it doesn't work. I believe the normal fire is more than sufficient, and I really love it. And it's very efficient in ammo as well, and it's really good. Okay, there you go. Boom, boom. Now, enemies, of course, they are not 100% armor stripped because they're very weak and cannot tank any of this damage. But as enemies scale, you'll be like armor stripping them eventually. Look at that. Boom, boom. Everything is dead. Conclusion, Tenet Tetra is 100% a weapon worth trying, and trust me, it's more famous than you think. A lot of Tenos love it, and that's why I took my time and take it to level cap, and this is the build I be using it. Now, I want to say special thanks to everyone. Support the channel in any way by liking, subbing, commenting, following me on Twitch, joining my Discord, or joining my TikTok. Big love to you all. And special thanks to all members. Thank you so much, guys, for your support. Special VIPs, the Undisputed Donator, and Hall of Donations, and all my amazing community. I have the best community ever. Big love to you all, and I will see you guys next time.